Hello there. My name is Tirza Ekholm. Ekholm, not Elkholm, but Ekholm. It's an old Swedish family name, and if there was an L in the front of it somewhere, it disappeared at Ellis Island or somewhere else. So in any case, that's my husband's family name, and it is Ekholm. Tirza, by the way, is from the Old Testament. It's mentioned in Numbers as well as Song of Solomon and one other place. It's very rarely mentioned, and probably rather obscure places, but there you have it. So, I've been thinking about this for quite a while. People have asked me if I might create webinars. So this is going to be on the way to creating webinars. One of the things that I do as an artist is I make beautiful tiles such as this. This is a blank tile. But I put alcohol inks on it, create a beautiful design, and then I upload that to various websites where you can make things like such as this tunic. So this was actually one of my first tunic designs. This is a picture of one of those alcohol inks on tiles. So I teach this in a couple of different ways. One is I take students with me on a journey where we just sit and have some fun and drink some wine and have some alcohol inks. And then I take pictures of their work and upload them to websites. The other is more like what I'm going to show you tonight. I'm going to take you from start to finish, because it turns out while this is really kind of the fun part, there's more digital fun that goes along with this, and I want to share those steps with you as well. So these are all the steps that I take to go from tile to clothing. I may not finish in one evening, because one of the important things for you to know is that as the colors are moving around on this, if I see the design that I like, I don't wait for it to dry, because that's kind of hard to do with alcohol inks. As you'll see, they move around, they're fun, they're really neat, but they'll actually keep moving until they're dry and they're done. And if you like the design, the best way to capture it is with your camera. So that's what I do. So these are tiles that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's, and you might even be able to get them from Amazon.com. This is actually 6 inches by 6 inches, and you can certainly get larger ones. You can get smaller ones like the 4 by 4 inches. The large ones tend to become a little bit more unwieldy. The other way that artists use alcohol inks, well, there's lots of ways, but another way that I have learned personally is on something called Yupo paper. And it's a special paper that has the same ability for the alcohol inks to move around, which is part of the joy and fun of them. The huge difference between the Yupo paper and the tiles is that the tiles, if you really get to the end of it and you don't like it, provided you haven't added a bunch of salts and sands and paints like I tend to do, you can actually take rubbing alcohol, and wipe it completely off. You can't do that so much with Yupo paper. You can wipe it off, but you're going to probably have some alcohol and ink and residue left behind. And while you can still play with that, your options then become more limited. Now, having said that, the danger, of course, is if you don't take the time to, when this is completely dry, spray it with a fixative, then you always run the risk of, if you drop another ink on it, or if you drop some alcohol on it, or if you even drop water on it, you're going to change your design all over again. And while that might be fun, that also might make you very sad if you fell in love with it already. So just wanted to toss some of these things out. I'll be sharing this and a whole lot of tips during our journey together. So first of all, thank you for joining me, and I hope you will enjoy this journey with me as much as I enjoy sharing it with you. And at the end, if you like the design, let me know, and I'll show you what kind of clothing items they've appeared on, and you can certainly order them from me. And the second part is, if you really like them and you'd like to commission me to make something for you, I'd be delighted to do that for you as well. This is all part of a journey, because recently I set up a Patreon page, and on that page, it's nearly ready, but I'll be offering different membership levels, and the membership levels are going to include access to videos, how-to videos on how to do some of the art that I do, as well as the creations that I create. So if these are some things that are of interest to you, please do reply below. I'd love to chat with you, or private message, me, and if you're just enjoying this sort of thing, then go ahead and let me know that as well. So I will keep these particular videos short. I intend to keep them under 10 minutes, and then I will probably put them together into one long class video that will be made available to my subscribers. So the first thing you do when you get one of these one of these ceramic tiles is I clean it off with some of this rubbing alcohol, and that's just really easy. You just pour it here, and just to go over the surface. This particular tile, it's the last that I have of this kind, but someone had stored a whole box of these tiles in her garage, and then when she decided she wasn't going to do anything with them, she invited me to come over and pick them up, and I did that, but that meant, of course, that there was dust and grime and some other things on there. So, and you just do that anyway, because even if the tile's been sitting in the store, it gathers dust, and people pick them up and get their fingerprints on them. It's just the way of things. So for the purposes of today's demonstration, I just randomly grabbed three colors from my set of alcohol inks. These seriously are inks combined with alcohol, and so what's going to happen is the alcohol, as it's evaporating, the ink will move around, and this is really part of the fun. And you can almost meditate, or if you like, or have sort of a Zen, not quite, but experience of watching the inks move around, because they're just kind of mesmerizing and relaxing at the same time, which is part of their fun and the joy. So I grabbed a yellow, I think it's really butterscotch, but the label has become faded, so I can't read it. This one is called Stonewashed Blue, and the last one I have is called Raspberry. And I don't really know how well they're going to play together, so you get to have some fun with me at the same time. The other thing is, I'm not going to show you everything, of course, with the alcohol inks, not in 9 minutes. But what's really fun to do with this is I've got a little bit of alcohol in here, and I'll put some in a dropper, and I'll show you what happens when I drop it directly on here. So, for today, you don't have to start with alcohol, but I'm going to do that because it just causes the inks to move around in a really fun way. And if you've ever seen me creating, you'll know that I just love to have colors run and designs run and create themselves and be what they are. There's so much in life that's like that. I know, it's a little philosophical, but art is life and life is art, so of course it makes sense. So then I just drop alcohol into there, and I wish I could show you this on camera. What I may do is end up getting a camera that you can see from above while I'm talking about these things. But right now, I'm just letting this alcohol move around, the ink move around on top of the alcohol. And the alcohol, yes, it's diluting it, but it's also giving it sort of this mobility and allows me to start to create a really, really fun design. And I could just stop here and go, wow, that's kind of cool, and take a picture of that. But I'm going to continue on because I also like to combine colors, and we'll see. And I'll share with you. We'll see what happens. The lovely thing about inks is they're not predictable. I suppose there are artists who've done this for years and years and years, and so they just maybe have some more experience with this. But this sort of has created kind of a butterfly-like design, and if you will give me just a moment, I'm going to stop this video and restart the next one. So just hold on just a second. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. Let me just quickly say hi to GK. Good to see you, as well as Ruthie Klein and Al Fryer. I'm so glad to have you with me. Seth Walker, Ben Ortiz, thank you so much. And hang on for just a moment, and I'll be right back.